My name is Diana Ross, and I am 60 years old. I live alone in a small apartment with creaking floors, faded curtains, and a heart that remembers too much. This morning, when I woke up, I knew it was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. My only son, Daniel, was getting married. The sunlight crept through the window blinds, resting softly on the framed photographs of him that lined my kitchen shelf. His first day of school, his graduation, that awkward teenage smile when he thought braces made him look grown. I stood there staring at those photos for a long time, my tea cooling beside me. "You're getting married today, sweetheart," I whispered to the smiling boy in the frame. "I hope you still need your old mother a little." I had spent the week before choosing my dress, a gentle sky blue gown with lace along the collar, the color Daniel once said made my eyes look kind. I laid it on the bed the night before, ironed and ready, beside a small white envelope containing a note I'd written 3 nights ago when sleep refused to come. "My dear Daniel, no matter where life takes you, or who walks beside you, you will always be my boy. Love, Mom." It felt silly at first, who writes letters anymore, but I wanted him to have something that lasted longer than a phone call or a photo, something that said everything I never quite managed to say. I sat at the kitchen table, sipping my tea and listening to the quiet hum of the refrigerator, thinking about how many times I'd dreamed of this day, walking arm in arm with him, straightening his tie, watching his face light up when he saw his bride. After his father passed away 15 years ago, Daniel had become my entire world. I worked 2 jobs to get him through college, missing birthdays, holidays, even my sister's funeral, all for him. Today felt like proof that it had been worth it. It was still early, just 9 a.m., with the ceremony at 11, plenty of time, I thought. I showered, curled my hair, and fastened my old pearl earrings, the ones from my own wedding day. In the mirror, I saw a woman with gentle wrinkles and eyes carrying both joy and fear of being forgotten. Just as I was about to slip on my shoes, a frantic knock came at the door. It was Mrs. Keller, my neighbor, her face pale and voice trembling. "May. Please help me. It's Harold, he fell, and he's not waking up." My heart jumped into my throat. Harold, her husband of 50 years, the kind man who brought me flowers from his balcony garden, lay on the floor with shallow breathing, one hand clutching his chest. Without thinking, I ran after her, shouted to call 911, and dialed myself when her hands shook too badly. The operator's calm voice guided me as everything felt underwater. I held Harold's hand, whispering, "Stay with us, please stay," while Mrs. Keller sobbed beside me. The ambulance arrived after what felt like forever. They worked on him before loading him onto the stretcher, and a medic said, "You did the right thing, ma'am. You might have saved his life." I nodded, breathless, hugging Mrs. Keller as she cried, "Thank you, May, thank you." That's when I heard distant church bells and checked my phone, 10:38 a.m. The ceremony was in 22 minutes, and I was still in my slippers. I rushed back to my apartment, stumbling up the stairs, hands shaking so badly I dropped my car keys twice. I changed shoes, grabbed my purse and the envelope, and got into my old sedan, whispering, "You can make it, May. You can make it." But traffic soon ground to a halt from an accident, flashing lights and honking everywhere. Minutes crawled, 10:47, 10:53, 11:02, tears blurring my vision as I hit the steering wheel in frustration. Finally, cars inched forward, and I drove faster, turning near St. Mary's Church to see cars with ribbons and flowers, music drifting from open doors. I parked crookedly and ran up the steps, clutching the envelope, heart pounding louder than the music. But the heavy wooden doors were closed. Through a gap, I heard the priest say, "To have and to hold, from this day forward," followed by laughter and applause. My hand froze on the doorknob. I was too late. Pressing my forehead against the cool wood, I glimpsed Daniel at the altar, radiant with his bride, looking so grown and far away. Everyone was there except me, their joy spilled out like shards of glass piercing my heart. I wanted to burst in and shout, "I'm here," but something stopped me. It wasn't just this lateness, but every missed moment from being too tired, busy, or broken. I stepped back, clutching the envelope, feeling truly invisible for the first time in years. When the ceremony ended, people poured out laughing and chatting. I stood behind a stone pillar, watching quietly until I saw Daniel in his black suit and blue tie, arm around his radiant bride, Lily. Taking a shaky breath, I stepped forward. "Danny," he turned, surprise turning to disappointment. "Mom? Where were you?" I tried to explain the emergency with Harold, but he interrupted sharply. "You missed the ceremony. You missed my vows. You could have called. You always have excuses, you've been doing this my whole life." The words hit like a slap. Lily touched his arm gently, but he pulled away, saying he'd asked for one thing, just to show up, and I didn't. I wanted to scream that I'd tried, run, cried, but words stuck behind tears. Clutching the now meaningless envelope, I whispered, "I'm sorry. I was late, but I came." He looked away, jaw clenched, then walked to the car with Lily, driving off and leaving me on the church steps with echoing bells in an empty sky. That night, back home, the world was too quiet, streetlights cast long shadows, and my blue dress still smelled of lavender perfume, but all I saw was Daniel turning away. I sat staring at the envelope. "To my son, Daniel." Tracing the words, remembering notes from his childhood, lunch in the fridge, "Love you, good luck on your test, sweetheart." This one felt heavier, final, like a burning bridge. I brewed chamomile tea I didn't drink, the clock ticking louder, reminding me of what I'd lost: wedding laughter, music, photos where no one might notice the groom's mother was absent. A tear fell. "You're too old to cry over missed moments," I whispered, but my heart ached endlessly. Unfolding the letter, hands trembling from unsaid weight, I read it aloud under lamplight, as if words could reach him on the wind. "My dear son, by the time you read this, you'll be standing at the start of your new life. I hope she makes you laugh the way you used to. I have loved you every single day since I first held you. Life wasn't easy after your father left us. I made mistakes. But every smile made it worth it. You promised I'd sit in the front row and you'd wink before vows. I carried that. If I'm not there, it's because life tested my heart. I hope you forgive me. No matter how far, my love follows. Always, Mom." Pressing it to my chest, I wished he could feel it. 3 months passed. Autumn arrived with cooler air, shorter evenings, amber trees. I'd learned to live with the ache like an old scar. Then, one gray afternoon, a knock. Daniel stood drenched from rain, holding white roses, eyes tired and softer. "Mom. I got your letter." I stared, hand over mouth. "You read it?" He nodded. "Lily had found it in the mail. I didn't know you'd send it." He explained Lily visited the hospital with Mrs. Keller and learned I'd saved Harold's life. "You didn't ruin my day." I did, letting anger speak louder than love. I remembered times you weren't there, forgetting the thousands you were. I was too proud to listen. Tears streamed as he took my hands. "I'm sorry, Mom." I whispered of my mistakes but unending love. He nodded, crying. Then he hugged me, the breath-stealing kind that stops time. "Welcome home, sweetheart," I said. He whispered back, and over tea and roses, he shared ceremony details, filling my blanks. When he said Lily wanted to meet me properly, my heart mended in broken places. It's been 3 years since I stood too late at that church gate, passing it on walks. Bells remind me how far love travels when time falters. Daniel and Lily live nearby. Their boy, Oliver, with his father's curls and mischievous eyes, calls me Auntie Mae. When he runs giggling into my arms, I see Grace, tiny and fearless. One afternoon, as he napped on my chest, Daniel placed an old silver watch on the table, ticking steadily. "I wind it every morning, it keeps perfect time now." I smiled. "Something stopped so we notice their precious ticking." He said, "You were never late, Mom, you lived moments that made me who I am." I reached for his hand, then we both made it, right on time. That evening, watching sunset gold, I prayed for more such moments. The kettle whistled, roses opened wide. The frightened woman clutching guilt is gone, replaced by someone grateful. If you're ever too late for a conversation, wedding, or goodbye, don't believe love closed its doors. It lingers, waits at every rain-soaked moment, every second chance. I was late to my son's wedding, but love waited, opened its arms, and said, "Welcome home." The seasons turn, the maple outside blushes autumn, leaves letting go with grace. I watch with morning tea, thinking life asks us to release regrets one by one. Oliver wears a blue cap to be fast like daddy, his laughter is birdsong, showing we arrive on time by the heart, not clock. Daniel brings him for dinners of ordinary talk, recipes, projects, noisy dogs, but in them, extraordinary love, his softened eyes at Lily's laugh, refilling my teacup. One evening, I opened an old attic box with wedding cards, photos, the yellowed dress. Touching it, I smiled, no longer loss, but beauty's trace. I cut lace from the sleeve, framed it beside a photo where my reflection lingers in the church window, fragments bound by forgiveness. At night, the silver watch ticks like a second heart, the past hums as a lullaby. I whisper, "Thank you for waiting," imagining time reply, "You were on your way home." In loneliness, I listened and found love breathing. So remember me, Auntie Mae, I was late to my son's wedding but right on time for what mattered. This morning, an old envelope in my recipe book, for Daniel, open when you're ready. Reading it, if you doubt my love, remember me whispering your name outside the church. Live with kindness, it saved me, I smiled, it all came true. Daniel noticed, read it, "You don't owe me anything, you gave everything." I whispered, "You gave me back my time." Over chamomile, the watch ticked with horizon glow, bells ring not for loss but love's persistence. I hadn't missed anything, life waited until I was ready. You are never too late for love, forgiveness, peace, joy. Time closes doors, but love leaves a window. Step through, one day, you'll understand, you were simply on your way home. Please subscribe my channel.